So the key word for this video is awesome. And that is one way to sum up this Civic Type R.
Guys, to another video. Today I've got something really special. It's something that I've been wanting to drive for a long time. I've had these before in standard form, but nothing like this. I mean, you could probably guess, with the red Recaro seats. It is a Honda Civic Type R, and it's not just any usual Type R. It's a EK9 Honda Civic Type R, which is the original Civic Type R which was made for the Japanese market, and it's finished off in quite possibly the rarest color that you can find them in. It's a Pheonix yellow EK9 Type R. But now the special trick bit with this car is it's fitted with a K20 engine. So the EK9 chassis with a K20 setup. And not only is it a K20 setup, it's also got strapped to it a Jackson Racing Supercharger. So as you could probably imagine, it's probably the only one around with a JR Supercharger on a K20 in a Pheonix yellow EK9. So yeah, as per usual, just subscribe to our channel for more content, share, subscribe, and all the usual social media things help us grow. And we've got plenty of other things to show you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get straight onto the outside.
So as you can see, it's on the outside it looks fairly standard, apart from this exhaust system. It's got a Toda exhaust system, standard sort of, well, not standard, sort of standard alloy wheels, wrapped in NS2R Nankangs. They're a good tyre, they're quite a solid sort of tyre from what I've found and experienced in the past. So as you can see on the outside, it actually just looks like a standard EK9, but oh, this thing is far from a standard EK9. And here, I mean, I'll show you the interior first, then we can. So as you can see, non-airbag steering wheel, it's got no clock, which is, I'm not sure actually if the EK9s did have, the DC2s did have a delete thing on the clock, 10,000 RPM. So the two Recaro seats, this is out of a JDM EP3, the driver's seat is, and the passenger one is the standard EK9 stroke DC2 Recaro. Amazing seats. They are quite hugging, hold you in quite nicely. Most of you have not seen one of these on a car for a long time, and neither have I, to be fair. And yeah, the interior, it is just bog standard EK9. It's got like a carbon fiber type of effect on the center console. The Civic Type R badge, which is standard again. All EK9s come with that. And yeah, I mean, just the usual stuff, window mirrors and stuff. So yeah, under the bonnet now. This is the special thing about this car, the trick bit about this thing. There's the famous K20 engine out of an EP3, and there it is, the Jackson Racing Supercharger. So, I mean, apart from them two things, it's also got the CPL, I think it's a fuel rail with the actual gauge on the side there, just to show you what sort of fuel pressure you're running. And yeah, there's, as you probably noticed, there's no battery in here as well, because the battery's been tucked into underneath this wing here. So it's got a race battery in there again. It's a really slimline sort of battery. If you don't start the car after 3 days, it's dead, but jump start it, it's perfectly fine. And it's got a half a radiator, which is something that I think that they do need, purely because of the size, the charger and the actual block. So again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, and a 3-point harness, and it's got braided lines, braided fuel lines and stuff as well. So Koni suspension, it's been polybush, so all the bushes are quite hard, and it adds to the whole handling experience of this car. And for a car that's, I mean, this car is over 20 years old. It's, as you can see from the exterior, it is pretty much immaculate. I believe one owner owned this car for a very long time. So on the outside, it actually looks very standard. So it is a bit of a sleeper. And the exhaust system, It's a Toda exhaust, and the underside is actually fairly tidy for a car that's been here for 13, 14 odd years. So if you was to look at this on the face of it, a lot of people have never even heard of the Type R, the EK9 Civic Type R. So when they see one of these things, it's automatically always a replica, or look what somebody's done to a Civic. Why spend all that money on it? But this is the original Civic Type R that Honda ever produced. And I know some say that was almost sounded like Jeremy Clarkson there. Some say about the stick. No, but I know some people say that the EFSIR was the first Type R, unofficial Type R. But no, this was the first official Civic Type R made. Spoon Sport Sunstrip, it's probably not to my liking, but again, it's there. It does the trick. Spoon Sports, again, it's a tuning company for Honda. They are quite an amazing tuning company, to be fair. They do some very, very, very good modification, aftermarket parts. And oh yeah, the other thing is this bonnet. It's a carbon fibre bonnet that's been painted in yellow just to match the car. And I must admit, it's as light as anything. As you can see, it's quite flexible. And these are the engine mounts. Actually, you need, don't know what company makes them, but yeah, and they are the engine mounts that are needed for the K series conversion on a EK. So again, like I mentioned, what I'll do is I will write the whole spec list in the description. So what we'll do is we'll go for a little drive now, just a quick little blast around. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. And seriously, it's a beautiful car, and I'm trying to get to show you these type of cars, and anything performance related. And usually, this style of car, you don't get to see many of these around nowadays, so they are a special car. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the content, like the video, and yeah, enjoy, and most importantly, stay safe. Seriously, guys, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the drive now. Here we go again. I'm actually not even taking this car to what it can get to. I'm changing gear at 6,500, 7,000 RPM, and it still pulls quite hard, and it puts a smile on your face. Honestly, oh. Woo. Now I'm driving around 6th gear. It's not that loud. It's got a nice balance. It's got a nice drive to it. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit bouncy. Suspension is very firm. I think it's running Kony shock absorbers, but it's been fully poly bushed as well. So all the suspension bushings and stuff have been replaced, so they're harder, and it obviously adds to a lot of the handling of this car. But you just can't beat it. Can't beat it. These Recaro seats, this Recaro seat, if I'm right in thinking, is out of a 30th anniversary UK spec EP3 or a JDM EP3. So it's not the same as a passenger seat, which is the standard DC2/EK9 Recaro seat. But it still does such an awesome job at. Still an awesome seat, and it hugs you nicely. It's just, the whole package is just there. It's such an awesome car. And honestly, even seeing like these window winders on the doors, and there's no airbags in this car as well. That's another thing with this. Mate, honestly, what else could you ask for? For a fun car, I don't see anything else that you can ask for. This thing is absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. I would actually genuinely buy one of these cars just to keep as a weekend toy. Definitely buy one of these cars. Now there, I wasn't even 5,000 RPM. This car is serious fun, honestly. Like I mentioned before, honestly, if you've never driven a DC2 or an EK9 Civic Type R, or even one of the earlier Civic VTIs, the EGs and the EEs and CRX VTECs, you won't understand until you've actually been either a passenger in one or you've actually driven one of them. These cars are so much fun, which the newer cars just don't offer. They just don't do it no more. There's a lot of safety, ratings to take into mind and stuff and all the rest of it, but these were from an era where none of this was as strict as it is now. So, and I must admit, they made so much more fun cars back in the day. I mean, this car is going on to maybe 21, 22 years old. And hand on heart, I can say it's an absolutely amazing car. And obviously with what somebody's done to it, they've made it even more impressive. Overtake a slow moving tractor. Yes, I mean, the whole driving, you sit literally, in a very good place here. You're right in front of the wheel. There's no angles. I know I've mentioned it in my other videos as well. Some cars you sit in and you're sitting slightly off center. But no, not on this. They've actually mastered this off to a T. The driving position is absolutely spot on. The steering wheel and everything else. And it's got 10,000 revs on the counter. And I know that's related to the standard B16 lump that these came with. But you're still, you've still got 10,000 RPM. I mean, what cars do you get with 10,000 RPM today? I can't even name you one. So what Honda have done with this car is, they've created something that's left its legacy. And the newer Civic Type Rs did disappoint because they didn't quite live up to this sort of expectation. The FD2, on the other hand, was another Civic Type R that is absolutely amazing. It almost reminds me of an EK9. Bear in mind, in standard form, the way it drives, the way it feels, the handling, the whole package. I mean, they've got it as well. I've done a review on the FD2 as well, so please do check that out. The video is on the channel, so please do, like I said, check that out. You'll get a gist of what I'm talking about. It's better slow down from 30 to 20. But yeah, they just drive so good. They drive so good. Honestly, they drive amazing. You don't really feel the lack of power steering as you're driving along, but it's just that slow maneuvers and around town and stuff. Yeah, you will get they will kind of, they're a bit harder, should we say, but again, grand scheme of things, I can't knock it. Honestly, I can't knock it. Like I said, the standard EK9s do come with power steering. But this actual car I've got here with me today hasn't. So like I previously said, I mean, I've been wanting to get hold of a special Honda for a while now, just so I can video it and just for you guys to see. And special Honda, yes, this is. So, all the credit to its owner. And, thank you very much for letting me actually have this opportunity to do this. And it feels so blessed, to be fair, to be able to do it. I've done a few rare cars now, and and I appreciate all the help and that I've had. So enough respect for everything. It's enough love.